So there are certain substances, but then also behaviors, like say gambling, where there's this dopamine circuit that gets activated, where you get rewarded immediately for doing something, even if ultimately it's detrimental to you in the long run. And it creates this sense of euphoria in the short term. It can create this sense of escape, but it really ends up locking you in. And most of these products and substances, whether or not we're talking about, like Purdue Pharma and OxyContin, whether or not we're talking about big tobacco, about vaping, about the THC, cannabis, marijuana market, the gambling, it's all based around this idea of if we get people hooked on this, this is where the money comes from. If you look at studies of what percentage of alcohol is consumed by the top tier amount of drinkers, right? Like the top 20% of drinkers, who average, by the way, like the top 20% of drinkers average around, I believe it's 6 to 10 drinks a day. They consume about 85% of all the alcohol in the country. So like you wouldn't have, for example, Anheuser-Busch, Coors, all of these large companies without alcoholism and without alcohol use disorders. They would not exist. And we see the same thing in gambling. We see the same thing in THC. We see the same thing in smoking. And that's where that idea of addiction for profit comes in, where that's really where the money is. The money is in the problematic use patterns